Hello, hi guys, welcome to another episode of Unfiltered with us. And today on this episode, we're talking about friendship.
Yeah. So on today's episode, we're talking about why all friendships don't survive growth.
Yeah.
Eventually. So we'll be looking at it in depthly and how to navigate this space. So
yeah, and why eventually yourself and that best friend or long childhood friend of yours eventually become frenemies, I'll say. So at this point, I'm just going to say, let's get unfiltered. Hello, hi guys, welcome back into the main episode, and this episode is going to be an interesting one, and
right? Why are you laughing already?
No, because I'm just thinking back on the conversation we had right before we started recording, and I'm like, okay, this is going to be a very touchy one for me personally.
Why?
Yeah, because I relate to it. And it's one of the things, like, if I think back, there should be no excuse, but if I should think back, it's one of the things that held me back the most before I started evolving.
Well, I can attest to that, and I can agree. I can agree in some ways as well too. For me, I'll not say it really held me back from growth. I think for me it was just an evolving journey, and for me realizing that not all friendships eventually will last a lifetime. I'll have to navigate my own personal life and grow in my own personal self to become who I want to become, with or without certain individuals. Yes, it's gonna hurt sometimes, but like
with the space we are at right now, just want to just put it out there that this episode is not about bitterness or anything. It's about honesty. It's about growth. It's about understanding why every friendship survives or runs its own course, and the one that survives the journey of becoming where you eventually need to be. Like, basically, not every friendship will get there. There are some that are seasonal, and I guess as human beings, or before you eventually evolve on your growth journey, that's something a lot of people don't understand. So that pain comes, and that pain is real pain.
Yeah, real pain.
I felt it. It's real pain. I was telling you what I said. I feel like breaking up with a friend almost feels worse than breaking up with a boyfriend.
Well, it depends on the relationship and what you guys have built over the years. So not the secrets, the emotions that you guys have nurtured together, the challenges you've gone through, the good times as well, just all that, I think, is the memories of that person. So moving on sometimes can be quite tasking and difficult for us. So for me, I'll say we're all faced with the challenge. I'm not saying I'm superhuman. I'm not saying I've never felt burnt before, or probably I've burnt someone as well along my own personal
vice
journey.
True.
Vice versa,
very true.
But
sorry, I like that you recognize that.
Oh yes, because I'm human. I'm only human. I'm not perfect. So my part of my own journey too is to look at my own flaws and my weaknesses and anticipate my own growth and see how I can learn from the mistakes I've made from my past. So I'm not, like I tell you, if I can insult myself or say bad stuff about myself, I mean, I can also analyze other people or look at other people's flaws and say, I believe you should have done it this way, or you should have done it better this way, and all that. So
okay, so so
I have a question to ask you.
Okay,
since you said this topic is so dear to your heart and close to your heart, what's one fundamental right now in your life, or no, let me not say right now, let me say in your past, that you look for in a friend, like when you're trying to build friendships, and how has that changed now, if it has changed at all?
Well, that's a good question. That's a good question. I think for me, I look for authenticity.
Okay.
Now, when I say authenticity, it's a big word. It can mean different things. But for me, if I look back to, like, even the friendships I have now that I still have, the ones that I still have that I hold there are the ones that had that authenticity element in it.
Okay.
And now when I say authenticity, like, as you grow, you get to go into different spaces, you get to meet people.
Yeah.
And this just takes me into when like in the past, everybody has their own power. Everybody has their own strength.
Yeah, like superheroes.
Everybody has their own power. Like irrespective of what you think, you are strong in your own being.
Yeah,
and because I was the the one that wanted to make sure everybody was fine. So there were situations where I'll enter somewhere or enter into a room and I said, I'll try to shrink myself just to fit into the friendship of that person, to make the person feel comfortable.
You can say that again.
Yes. Just to fit, or just to be like, okay, let this person shine and I'll just help the person shine and I'll just hold back.
Yeah.
But the friendships I built based on that. The friendships I built based on that, I don't have them anymore. Because when it got to the point where I was like, okay, I needed to start growing in my own self. I needed to start shining in my own self. They couldn't understand it. And they were not ready to, embrace it, because it now looked like, oh, why is she changing? But I'm not changing. I've always just been, I just used to hold myself back.
So you decided to become the demon in the room.
Yeah, when I...
what? I need to own this.
I need to own this. I need to own this. And I've always had it. And the funny thing, even growing up, all my friends have always been like, there's something, you are different. I've always been different. Oh, we have Alexa on.
Alexa? Off.
So the thing is, I've always been...
Oh, I was waiting for the second one.
Yeah, for the...
Alexa?
Study.
Oh, study.
Okay, yeah, study.
Alexa, stop.
Sorry, guys. We have Alexa reminding us of things to do.
Yeah.
We're in the tech world now. We need Alexa to help. Yeah, so I just sort of to answer your question, and I think we'll still go in depth into that aspect that I just spoke about.
Okay.
But to answer your question, that's what I look for in friendships. Okay. Now, people that can accept me for who I am, and I want to accept them for who they are, and we can thrive together. It's either I vibe with you or I don't vibe with you, but I need to know you for you. That's it.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's amazing. Amazing perspective. Oh, yeah. So when I said, was because when you said you had to dim your lights for others to shine when you walk into a room.
Yeah.
It brought me back to when I first met you as well. So I digress a bit, but it's the story.
Yeah.
So when I first met you, or before I met you, I started evolving then. I'm not really sure, but on this aspect, yes, I believe I had started evolving. So when I met you, I told you that, based off the past relationships that I've had, that I've always dimmed my lights to allow others shine. And I realized that at the end of the relationship, I could have given more, or I could have been more, where probably I might have had better results. So on meeting you, I was able to say, this is who I am. These are my weaknesses, these are my strengths. And
I remember vividly well you telling me that. I'm like, why is this getting me all this?
So I think in a way, we've had a solid foundation because we're clear on our do's and don'ts, on things we liked and things that made us become happy or sad, or whatever it was. And we found our strengths in that. And as we continuously evolved over the years, we decided to also pivot into other things and become clear on our development stage. This is what I'm trying to achieve now. This is where I'm trying to go. And understanding that, my partner does need his or her own freedom to grow and exist within themselves. So so I realize a lot.
Yeah, and that's it. So that, really, friendship, we can talk about friendship from now to eternity. But also, I feel like there's some important factors that make friendships grow and make them stop, if that's the right word, make you outgrow friendship. So
probably fade away. And I was listening to a podcast. I can't remember what podcast I was listening to now, but I was listening to a podcast, and the thing about friendship is it's just that you don't realize it in the moment of it happening. But some friendships are not true friendships. They are only formed because of situations. Exactly. Thank you. Because of situations. And if you really look at it, honestly, apart from the ones which, will eventually become a true friendship, most of the friends you have is because you're probably in the same class, or you were probably neighbors. So, you were always in the same place. You had the same activity. You had the same classes. You had to
go to the same
play basketball together, sports
library,
or whatever it is.
Yeah, so that's what forms, most, I'll say 90% of our friendship, the situation. That's how you get to meet people, anyways. But it's now in the process, you now pick out like, okay, these true friendships can grow. But I guess the part we're really talking about here is that friendship that you thought, okay, this is it. Is it. You can't even imagine your life, you going through your life without that person, and then it just fizzles out. Like, how? How?
So I think.
So was it fake? Would you say that was? I wouldn't say that was fake.
No, it wasn't fake. So friendships are, like you rightfully said, friendships are formed because of the different situations we find ourselves in, and the goals that we're probably trying to achieve within that time span as well. So some friendships are seasonal, some are for a couple of years, some friendships that some people you meet and you think, oh, this is going to be a friendship, and it lasts for like only a week or a month, and like, oh, I actually thought that person was going to become my friend, but probably the person just had to exist in your life for that period of time for you to either learn something or get something done. So it happens for different reasons, but long-term friendship for me has to do with my own personal norms and belief. That doesn't mean I will not sacrifice for that friendship or take risks for the friendship, but we have to vibe on a lot of things, my own personal beliefs as well. So I'm not just talking about religion here, I'm talking about sports, I'm talking about reading, gaming, hanging out, being intellectual, not just on the surface level, but deeply. So
I'll come back to that. Let me let you finish your thought process. But being intellectual, I'll come back to that.
So things like that, like family, kids, finance, debt, investment, basically important stuff that we need clarity on, or we need proper advice or guidance on. So those are the kind of friends I need right now. So I just don't want to sit down and talk about.
Yeah, so that's the thing. And I guess, so I have to jump in here before, because this is the right time to jump in. Like, when you say intellectual conversations and all that, I guess that's the part where the struggle. Now, let me go back to, remember I said this was the hardest part for me, the struggle. Yeah. So having friends, and then when you start to evolve, you realize that yourself and some of your dear friends are beginning to go separate ways. And then you can start having the same conversations, and then maybe your dreams are different, your values are changing. But that's the hard part, because this is somebody like I said, you can't imagine your life without. So it's the loyalty that holds you back for the longest time. The loyalty of...
the loyalty. Yeah.
And actually, if it depends on the... what's the word? On the...
How you've nurtured the friendship.
How you've nurtured the friendship, or the power play in the friendship as well. If you've always been the one giving and you've always been the giver. Yeah. So if you're not strong enough, you tend to want to keep giving, and that eventually affects you. But when you decide to stop giving, and maybe the person not giving as well, that's how friendships fade. And that was one of the... would I say the hardest part for me?
Yeah, that was your own learning curve.
Yeah, it was a learning curve for me. I had to, and I guess this goes back into, you have to first think of yourself, not in a selfish way, but in a selfish way.
Oh, yeah.
Like I always say, I tell everybody that wants to hear, there's good selfish and there's bad selfish. Good selfish, where you have to kind of put yourself first, because you can't follow other people's paths and dreams, because you're just going to be lost, and by the time you realize that you're lost, it's almost too late.
We all have a role to play in this world. So finding your purpose, what you're trying to achieve, and what's the process in achieving that. So so that's another thing too. So just like you explained, when probably you were friends with the people that you've spoken about or you're talking about in the past, at that point in time, you guys had probably a clear purpose at the point in time. But as you guys grew and became women or men in your own skin, you've all found out that, oh, now I have a purpose. This is my purpose now. That's for those who have found their purpose, because finding your purpose is one thing in life. I can remember myself and a couple of friends sitting down at a party, and our friend asked us, a girl, and she's like, if I'm to ask all of you now, what's your purpose in life? And we're all doing well, about 5 of us, and we all looked at ourselves. I can tell you categorically that we're all quiet for about 10 seconds looking at ourselves.
What's my purpose? That's a very deep question.
Yeah, it was a deep question because she hadn't found her purpose as well. So she wasn't sure what she wanted to do in life. She just knew she was working. She enjoyed her job to a certain extent, but she wanted more.
Yeah.
But what was it that she was going to invest her time and effort into? So yeah, so like I said, when you find your purpose, it's either your friendships continue or they move to the side.
And so it still brings me back to that loyalty question. So how do you feel, or were you ever in the situation where you knew you needed to move, but like your childhood friends were just still there, and you didn't want to feel like you were leaving them behind? Like I said, that's the struggle I had. Like that was one of my biggest struggles. You didn't want to feel like you were leaving them behind or you were changing, which, like I said, I think all this comes with time and with growth. Because if somebody had just told me at that point that, don't worry, you eventually understand it, don't worry, you need to grow, don't worry, everybody will be fine, I couldn't really understand it. It was time that made me understand it. Yeah. So how did you feel doing that? Or did you have any of those struggles like I did?
I would say yes and yes to some degree. So, like childhood friendships now.
Yeah.
I've had a couple of friends that I've known forever, like probably before we started really speaking and all that. So, and I'm still friends with them up until today.
Like, myself.
Yeah, I'm still friends with them up until today. But I also have friends that I've known that long as well. And I'll say for about 5 to 7 years of my life, I wasn't in contact with them.
No, I didn't get that.
No, I'll say 5 to 7 years of my lifetime.
Okay. You were not in contact with them?
Yeah, I wasn't in contact with them. The friendship wasn't there. There was nothing to really talk about because we had gone our separate ways.
Yeah.
I was chasing
different things.
Yeah, I was chasing different things in life, and they were also doing the same thing. And then when we reconnected again years later, for some, it was a struggle to pick up.
Yeah.
And then I just realized, you know what? It's not going to be what it once was. And with some, we picked up from where we left off, and the friendship even became stronger. So, like I said, it's your purpose and where you're at in life. As you grow and continue to move through your journey, you need people for different aspects of your life. And wherever people meet you at that point in time, it's either you're able to give 10% of your time, 20, 50, 100% of your time. So it depends on the skills they have, the knowledge they have, how important of a role they'll play in your life at that point. So for me, it all depends on how you see it.
I completely understand where you're coming from. And because I was at that point intentional about my growth, and I think I'll say maybe that's the, I don't know if I'll call it advantage or the upper hand I had in this whole journey, because I knew what I was going for. I knew where I was aiming for. And like I said, even growing up, like a lot of my friends had always told me, oh, you're different. Like if everybody's going this way, I'm probably saying I want to go that way. And at first, I've always been different, yes. And at first,
even when I met you, I'm like, why are you so different?
Like you get like even in the littlest thing, like everybody's like choosing like color white. I'm like, okay, no, I want black. And I'm like, why? Everybody wants white.
Just like the car you want now, and I'm looking at it, like, oh my goodness.
Yes.
Why does she want different?
So I've just always been different. And at first I thought it was a bad thing.
Yeah.
So that held me back. But now recognizing that my difference is actually what makes me unique. So back to what I was saying. So on this growth journey, like I now started recognizing the drift. I started recognizing it. I started finding out that some of those friends, which, we used to have like easy conversations. Yeah. The conversations now like felt forced. It felt like we're just forcing ourselves to, still have that conversation. And there were some friendships that even I had to be the one to just pull myself out of it.
Just like meeting for the first time, I'm like, oh my goodness, we're having powerful conversations.
Yeah.
Like, is this real? Like, because at that point in time, I had lost hope. I'm like, oh, I mean, unfortunately, most of the girls I knew then we weren't able to have this kind of conversation. So meeting, I'm like,
so
am I dreaming?
I had to, and even thinking back, I can think of like a couple of friends, like maybe 2 or 3 that even I can say now, I was one that just made it easy. because the conversation was forced. It was obvious we're both trying to hold on to something that was no longer there.
Yeah.
We had both outgrown the season or the environment we're in. It wasn't working. So I just pulled the plug literally. So I guess you get to the point where you realize that this friendship is not working. Yeah. And now when I say pull
the drift, right?
Yeah, that's the drift. And when I say pull the plug, it doesn't mean eventually in the future you guys cannot now come back.
Oh yes.
But sometimes that space is needed.
Yeah. Now let me ask another question.
Okay.
Or is this the right time to ask
that
question? What about what do you think? Mm-hmm. Or do you have any friend from your present time or past?
Yeah.
That has become an enemy?
Oh, frenemy. I forgot about that. You know what?
Are you in the movie set?
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
No, you know the funny thing?
Guess what? I think we should change the dynamic of this podcast. I think I should ask you questions and then it'll be your own perspective. Because
No. I like the way the podcast goes. I like the fact that I can throw you questions and throw questions. And that's what I'm telling you, that's what this is all about.
It was the part for me. I'm like
you know the funny thing, speaking about that loyalty and the drift, like please, you can just put in the comments, like, what situation did you ever find yourself in a situation where you felt like loyalty was holding you back from evolving, and how did you get over it, or just your perspective of friendship, really? So I just said, let me just throw that there. We'll come back to the conversation, but I'll really be interested in seeing like our viewers' perspectives as well.
Yeah.
On
what's
friendship.
Up with Alexa today?
Yeah, Alexa.
Alexa is just going off.
Yeah. Okay. So what was your question?
So my question was, do you have any friend in your present time or from the past that has become an enemy, and why did you say? Like,
that's
you don't need to go. Yeah, I was about to say, so you don't need to go
in depth. Yeah,
in depth. But I mean, let's just understand on the surface.
You know what? I can't even really say yes or no.
Okay.
Because you know why?
Why?
Because it's not like anybody has come to me and said, I'm your enemy. So it's just
people don't necessarily have to tell you.
Wait. I'm going somewhere with that. Going somewhere with that.
Okay.
Because I said something on my Instagram page where I talk about like growth and stuff. The thing is, sometimes your friend might not even know they are your frenemy till it's too late. Even they might not realize they're your frenemy. For example, I saw a post somewhere where, I have friends that, I'm starting a new business. They are not, you can see that they are there, but they are not engaging at all. Now, do I want to call that person a frenemy, or the person is just not interested? Even though we're like,
this was your post
really cool. Yeah, that was my post yesterday. So do you get, like, I wouldn't say the person is a frenemy, but most times the frenemy, oh God, frenemy, is that right?
They might actually add that to
we should check.
Webster
We should check. So the frenemy might actually come from the fact that you are doing something that the person has always wanted to do. And the person is just beefing you on code. It's not like the person hates you, but you're showing the person everything the person wishes they could be. So it's just like, why? And that kind of like disables them from acting. Although thinking back at...
And that stems up jealousy.
Yeah, that stems up jealousy. And like I said, it's all a mindset thing. If you can change jealousy to inspiration, then you realize that you're not really jealous. You're just inspired. So it's just the way you look at it.
I still don't understand that word though.
What, jealousy?
Yeah, because I don't even believe. Maybe I have, but
you're wired different.
Yeah, in my current state, or from now to my past years ago, like I don't think I've ever been jealous of anyone's success. If anything, I've always been inspired by what other people have done, and I've always thrived to achieve the same height or close to the same height. That's if I'm interested in what that person is doing.
Yeah.
So for me, I don't really see jealousy. I see motivation. I see, I can grow too. If this person can do this, I have the capability and capacity to actually go out and achieve the same thing.
I totally get you. And I wouldn't say I've always been like that. No, I've not always been like that. I grew to become,
Oh, yes.
to become inspired. And now when I say jealousy, I get what you mean that jealousy. I've never really been jealous of anybody in a bad way. Like, oh God, I'm so jealous of this girl. I just want to, no, I'm so jealous of this guy. No, but I think I've had situations where I'm like sad.
Okay.
Sad because the person has something I want and not inspired by it. So that's why I said the mindset needs to come in. Like, oh, obviously, you're like, oh God, this person has that. Oh God, why don't I have it? You just be sad. I remember all the conversations, all the questions I used to ask you. Like, remember when we didn't have a car?
Oh,
and
yes.
Then,
oh, yeah.
Then
no. There was a certain time that...
you didn't have a car. We didn't have a car then, and you were trying to up like the bus. And I called you. I'm like, oh my God, how do you feel? We don't have a car right now. Yeah. Up in the bus. And you're like, it's just a phase, I know. And you might not know, but that changed something in my brain. Because in my head, I'm like, oh my God, we don't have a car right now. I need to up the bus. I hated the bus because I've never really been like a bus person. And I'm like, but after that, I started it's just a phase.
Yeah.
It's just a phase.
I told you, I said, that I don't feel bad because I've already projected that in 5 months' time.
Yeah.
We're going to get a car.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened in 2 months' time, we bought a car.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to say that's why I mean that your perspective needs to change. So when we're going back to frenemies now, it's not because maybe they are your enemies, they don't love you for you.
Yeah.
They've just not evolved to the point where they can appreciate what you have and be inspired by it. So that's why I don't like to think that I have frenemies. I just like to feel like I have people who are friends that just not yet evolved to be inspired enough. Oh my God, see the way I put that. But yes, thinking back, I've had girls, so I've had a couple of that.
Even guys too go through the same hurdle.
Yeah.
Like for me, I've had a couple of friends where we don't talk anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I sit down and I wonder why, because we've gone through the hurdles together. We've gone to the gym together, we've gone through the good times together, bad times together. They've supported me in multiple ways when I needed people around.
Mm-hmm.
But there are some boundaries or lines that you can't cross as a friend.
Yeah.
And I believe if you cross that line, there's no coming.
Yes.
There's no coming back from that. And
mm-hmm.
I think the only thing personally that I would have done differently is I would have had a conversation. But then I did not have a conversation with them.
Yeah.
I just moved on with life because that was how I moved. That was how I moved personally. Like once I feel there's no connection anymore, I just drift away like into the sunset set. And that is the end. I'm gone.
I'm going to tell you mine, but based off what you said, I'm going to tell you mine, but I want to ask you.
Okay.
What is that thing that a friend would do and you know that that's crossing the line? There's no coming back from that.
Multiple things.
Pick one thing. Like
one thing that
that's it.
Loyalty. Loyalty is important to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we can't, I can't even consider you a friend if I can't. So, if there's no loyalty or bond between both of us and all that. So for me, loyalty is big. Plays a huge part in nurturing my friendship with other people.
And I'll that was what I was going to say. Maybe in a different way, but exactly. Mine is loyalty as well. Or, having a friend that wants to like
being present.
Smear you. No, not even that. Sometimes your friend might be going through something and they might just not be present at that point. It's fine to understand that. Maybe smearing my name, like, saying something that is really going to ruin my reputation, or allowing somebody else ruin my name and you're in that room. I used to have this.
Why do you feel sad right now?
Yeah, no. I used to have this really, because that's true. That happens to me. And I used to have this. In fact, I've had loads of friends. Girls were always having friends, but there was this friend that was really dear to me, and so some of my other friends were like, "Oh my God, you guys are so cool," but we started having issues as friends, as girls, and irrespective of the issues that we're having, I always still had her back. Like, then, in fact, I had her back to the point that I couldn't see any flaws. It's not like I'm perfect, but everybody has their flaws.
That's how you were wired in the past.
Yeah, like
I couldn't understand it. Like, why?
I would never see flaws in unless you show me like. But that's even how I am right now. Like, but it's just that I'm more intentional about it. Like, I would give you all the chances to the very end, and when it's the very end, I'm like, that's it. It's going to feel like you never even existed in my life, but not that bad though. But that's it. So like some of our other friends were like, oh, you're always like standing up for this girl. Like we can't even say anything bad about this girl whilst you're in the room because we know you would not allow it. Like you would just no, you know. But
that's
like, but you, it's not later doing nothing about the vice versa.
Retrospect,
But with retrospect, vice versa. Like this girl allows us to say stuff about you and even joins us in saying it, and we're looking like, what's going on here, you know? And I was like, no, and I didn't believe it till, things started happening. I'm like, okay, you need to like kind of like reel back in and, know what's happening here. But I'm just trying to say like that loyalty is, it's a big one for me. It's a big one for me.
We've covered quite a lot right now. And I'm thinking because like you said, friendship is a forever topic and there's no end to it. People have different situations that they go through with other people, and for some reason as well, one thing I've come to understand as well too is sometimes people are in bad situations that will make them do something sometimes. So for me, always extend a hand, always try and be patient and understand scenarios, but in the process of doing that, don't allow people cross you, or don't allow people, like you said, smell your name or look down on you because you're trying to be a good friend. Because sometimes being too nice, it
gets taken for granted.
Oh yes, it gets taken for granted, and I think that's something that's affected me with friendships. That's why right now I'm really intentional about.
Oh, you should.
Who I bring into my circle.
Everybody, I feel like everybody should.
And especially with the things that we are trying to achieve as a family and as a unit. Whoever it is, giving 30 minutes of my time or an hour or a day.
You need to understand that.
Yeah, you need to understand
it's
that
valuable. Like
it's valuable because
my time is valuable for me to give it to you. Like
So like today, I was supposed to go out and have like a drink with a friend.
Okay.
But I realized that why will I give time to just go and have a drink when I can use that time to research?
No, but going out to have a drink is good.
No, because for me right now, that's not my priority. My priority is to be here.
So are you saying you're not going to go out to have a drink with this friend? Because I'm going to call you out on
not today.
Not today. Okay, not today. Okay, because we already had this plan for today. Oh, I get that.
Yes. No, even if we did not have a plan, I still have other things I'm going to do after this.
Okay.
Yeah, that's going to keep me busy. So rather than going out to have a drink and just have a conversation, I'd rather spend that time for my own personal self to grow. So like I said, or like I'm saying, as a friend, you need to understand that my time is important.
It is.
And the things I'm trying to achieve at this point in time, they are personal and dear to me. So because I'm not having drinks with you today, that doesn't mean I'm not going to have drinks with you tomorrow in 2 days' time. But right now, I'm sorry, I cannot sacrifice my time for you. Yeah.
And no, that works.
And like you said, be selfish. Good selfish.
No, really, that works.
Selfish
that works.
Selfish,
because when I started changing some of being more intentional about growth and all that, I actually lost some friends because basically you're talking about boundaries. Because I started putting boundaries, like let's say for example, just random, I was going to go running tomorrow from let's say 8 to 10, and then a friend comes, I'm like, oh, let's go shopping 8 to 10. Because I'm intentional about what I'm trying to achieve, I'm like, oh my God, I'm sorry, I can't. And then the friend knows not to call me for 8 to 10 because I would not go. But if I should go 8 to 10, then she feels like she can call me tomorrow and the next day, and then I lose my own focus on what I was trying to achieve. So with that, you lose some friends. Like you eventually lose some friends when you start to create boundaries.
And guess what? With boundaries, people like, I believe personally, it's my personal belief. I believe a lot of people don't understand boundaries, and they don't understand how to navigate boundaries when it comes to friendships. Like sometimes some actions, they speak louder than speaking. You get, there's a way a friend will behave, and you should understand that probably this person does need space.
Yeah.
So probably go through what they are going through. Sometimes someone that is dear to you and so close to you is not ready to have a conversation about what they are going through.
True.
So you need to respect that person's boundaries. You don't have to impose your will on the person and keep asking, oh, what's wrong? What's wrong? I like to help. Yes, if a person understands that you like to help, but that might not actually be the best time to intervene and help. I'm not saying you shouldn't intervene in friendships or whatever it is, but give space for growth, give space for the person to catch a breath and say, oh, okay, you know what, I'm ready to have that conversation with you, so we can move on. So navigating boundaries is another thing that's hard for a lot of people, like with you now, because I know we are continuously evolving, we're asking ourselves questions every day and every time. There are situations I find myself in when it comes to friendship or be it with friends or family, and I ask you and I'm like, oh, how do I navigate this? Should I do it the article way? Or
the article way.
I should do it the Abby way, because the article way is to go from 0 to 100.
0 to 1,000.
And with you, you're a bit more diplomatic. Not to say I'm not diplomatic, but
I get what you mean.
Oh yes, so, but in some aspects, because I've been through so many things, and right now, if someone does cross me, I mean, I just see 1,000 straight. I'm like, you know what, I'm not interested. But sometimes, yes, I like to sit down and ask, like, oh, okay, am I going overboard here, or should I just understand that the person is just trying to create boundaries down, and then I move on. Yeah, so
and like just like what we've been saying, it's important to kind of realize and know that not every friendship is toxic. They've just run its course, and if we can seriously, and if we can look at it in that perspective, we kind of accept it easier, I would say. Earlier I said that breaking up with a friend is like worse than, because you guys have had like you said, secrets, you've gone through trying times together, you build that bond, that really tight bond, but sometimes that bond is actually just needed for the season. And if we can wire our brain to know that that's it, it will be easier. And there's not going to be any bad blood or anything, and you just kind of like fizzle out. It doesn't mean you can't fizzle back together, but like I said, it's the hardest part. I don't care what anybody wants to tell me.
I have a question to ask you.
That's the hardest part.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have another question.
You've been trained. I feel like I'm going to give you questions. I'll give you 4 questions. Once you use it, that's it.
Oh yes, okay. No.
I'm just joking.
Oh yeah. This one is. I just want to understand where you're at in your own personal growth journey and the development, and how you continuously evolve. Because as humans, we are different positions in life. And as we continuously grow, we continuously have to meet up with different things. So my question is, let me just go through this question. My question is, someone who has crossed you in the past for a long period of time, or that has just crossed you in the past, that was really there to you, in your future, in your future state, or where you find yourself, do you believe, or do you think you guys can never become friends again? I mean, not best friends or whatever it is.
I get what you mean.
Become cordial or whatever it is.
Oh yeah, surely, why not? But for me, like I said, it's always going to be the energy, and that's the first thing. I said it doesn't mean if you guys drift apart, you can't come back together. But when you come back together, if the conversation is feeling forced, or the person doesn't have the same energy level as mine, or it's not balancing out, like I'm more intentional about my friendship. I want to make sure my friendships are valuable. So it's not that I'm not willing to, or the person is not willing to. But if I realize we're still or we've drifted so far apart, there's nothing bringing us together again apart from history. So why do you want to live the future based off history? So for me, that's very important. Like, funny enough, I was in a situation like that recently, and I actually really thought of it, and I'm like, the only thing bringing us, if we're to continue this friendship together, the only thing bringing us together would be history. And it wasn't worth it. So I'm like, there's no point like pursuing it. If eventually I meet up with someone and we kind of find ourselves, like I said, situation in the same environment, and the friendship builds naturally and we can be on par, of course, sure, why not? There's no bad blood with anybody. And I think that's how life should be. And that's what I said. There's no toxic friendship out. Well, some friendships are really toxic. But don't view friendship as toxic. Like the ones that just view it like, you guys are just drifting apart. It's that, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and something I was looking at too is how do we as humans handle friendships that are fading away, like drifting away slowly, and we can see it, we understand it, and we are trying to save it because that friendship has been.
Why are you trying to save it? That's the question. Why are you trying to save it?
Why? Yeah, it can be for whatever reason, like we said.
Okay. So why are you drifting apart?
Why are you drifting apart? Oh, it might be your purpose now.
So that's it.
Things. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, so you don't believe friendships like that can never be saved when you're drifting apart. You don't believe.
No, they
if
can.
You try to nurture it again, and you have probably you and that person have a discussion and say, oh, we were drifting apart because of certain things or whatever it is. Like, how can we become friends again? You don't think you can become?
Oh no, absolutely. And I think I'm just looking at it from me. I have a friend like that right now, and she's one of my dearest friend.
Okay.
Like, yeah, one of my dearest friends in life. And we're not. When I say we're not, I wouldn't say we're not as close as we used to be. We're both in different countries now. Life is happening to her. Life is happening to me. You get. But we had that conversation.
Okay.
I remember, like, you, and I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. We had that conversation. We had that phone call.
I never knew you guys would have.
Oh, yeah, we did.
I'm thinking of 2 or 3 people right now.
No. We had that conversation, and I kind of told her, like, oh, I feel like you're drifting apart. I need you at this time, and I think that's something important. You should always tell your friends when you need them, and don't just assume that they would know. So, I told her, I feel like you're drifting apart. I need you at this time. And she's like, oh, I'm so sorry I've been drifting apart. I'm going through this as well. I'm like, okay, we can't, meet up all the time, but let's try and make sure we're intentional about finding time for each other. But be on your part. I'm on my part. Checking on me. I'll check in on you. And yeah, we've drifted apart because before we'd talk like all day. Like, she's literally in my head. I'm in her head. But I know she's going through stuff. I'm going through stuff. But we know we love each other, but we're drifting apart because we have to, not because we want to, but we make sure we come back and check in on each other, like, at intervals. And I feel like that's great friendship as well,
Oh yeah, still good friendship. I mean, like I said, I think for me, the only mistake that I have made was with a couple of friends was not having that conversation. I just let things slide, and because at that point, well, I think probably because I had not yet matured. No, I wasn't mature enough to understand that I should have these conversations with them. So not having the conversation also, sometimes I kind of, like I said, I don't like to use the word regrets, because whatever action I take, I believe there is what do you call it? Whatever action you take, there's
repercussion.
There's always a repercussion or an outcome from it as well too. But yeah, so moving forward, I think that conversation is important, because I remember having a conversation when I realized that, what, I should have the conversation. I had the conversation.
Yes.
And the person kept drifting away, and it was easy for me. All I had to do was block the person on all social media.
Exactly.
No, I'd had a conversation with you.
Yes.
I'd given you over a year to come back.
Yeah.
You did not still come back, even when I tried to still reach out 1 or 2 other times on random occasions.
Yeah.
So for me, it was easy. I'm like, you know what? This friendship has run its course. If we are going to come back, I'm sure you have my personal phone number somewhere. I didn't know the person's phone number, but on all social media platforms, I just blocked the person. For me, yes, I had to go all out.
No, I agree with that.
Because I had to block my own sanity and my own space, because energy, like you said, energy is important.
And that's the thing. This is the selfish part I was talking about. I totally agree with that. And having that conversation, it's because we had grown and evolved to a point and a level. That's why I was, I was knowledgeable enough to have that conversation. This conversation happened like maybe last year or last 2 years with this friend. But thinking back with what you said, there are some friendships that, in the past that I maybe I should have had the conversation and I didn't have the conversation, or we had the conversation and the conversation didn't just make sense. And I didn't just try and, So maybe the way we would have handled would be different. And that's why I said, and that's why we're discussing this now for people who, are just coming back from where we've been, or are just at where we've been. So yes, having a conversation, and for your own sanity, anything that you need to move forward, if it's, just do it. I totally support that.
Yeah. Because I mean, I looked at it, I'm like, you know what? I can't continue with this BS. I just have to.
All right, guys. Okay, let me ask everybody now. Like, have you had situations where you had to, or you've had a conversation with your friends, and you see it's not going anywhere? What did you do? What steps did you take? Let's see other people's approaches. What approaches have you put to kind of like save friendships that you guys were drifting apart on purpose, on dreams, on mission, and you can clearly see that you guys are on different paths? Did you hold on to it? How did you kind of like navigate about that?
Yeah.
That would be something interesting to know. Well, yes, that's been really good. But most importantly, for friendship, you need to make sure that you are both bringing value. It's a relationship.
Yeah. Like I said, one person can't keep giving. Both parties have to be able to give and receive. But yes, someone is always going to be a giver and the other person is going to be more of a receiver. But if both parties can understand that, this is how both of us are wired, but we still enjoy our company, we still find growth in it, there's still purpose in this friendship, please continue to grow.
Yeah.
Like I always use the farm analogy. I say friendship is like planting a seed.
Oh yes.
You water it,
where you water it, girls.
You allow the sun hit it. Cut out the weed. That is where you argue around whatever it is that you're trying to grow, and and then you harvest, and then you continue again. So continue to nurture your friendships.
And I feel like once you can understand that not all friendships will survive growth, you'll be better off for it, and it will be easier for you to grow. Not because the friendships are bad, not because they are toxic. It's just because you guys are getting to a point where you guys are the environment. You need to outgrow the environment where that brings both of you together, or you've outgrown the topic. Your purpose is changing and all that. So it's just important for us to realize that. And I think that will make us all better as humans. And the right friendships will grow with you. The right ones, regardless of what
situation.
The right. And it's not in the quantity of friends; it's in the quality of friends. I guess so. That was a good one.
It was a good one. I really enjoyed it. It was it was quite engaging, informative as well, because the questions I was asking you as well, a couple of them, like I was still trying to find clarity in some of them.
And I got some perspectives from you as well.
So like we continue to say, we have to keep evolving, keep growing, keep spreading knowledge, acquiring knowledge. I don't think you said everything you're saying. I know.
All right, thank you so much, guys. Thank you for watching this to the very end. Don't forget, share this with a friend, and if a friend already sent this to you, just know that this friend loves you, wants you to kind of like expand your mind on varying topics that we all speak about on Unfiltered with us. Please don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and let us know what you think in the comments as well.
Oh yes, we'll be more than happy to have that. So
okay,
thank you for today.
Until the next episode. See ya. Bye.
Bye.